Hey, you guys. Thanks for joining us today on episode 2, part 2 of Boundaries. I am Q.
And I'm Jay, and you're tuned in to the
Crabtree
Crabtree Sisters Unfiltered Podcast. Y'all. Yeah.
Do you think that every opportunity that God has given you, you have maximized?
No. I feel like God has given me so many opportunities, and now I feel like I'm maximizing them. But even now, I feel like I can always do more because I have like the reason I say that is because in my mind, and I don't know if my mind is truth or not, but in my mind sometimes I get this feeling, and I feel like it could be the Holy Spirit like saying, "Hey, focus on this, get this ready." Like it's like a nudge towards that direction. So that's how I feel like God is telling me, "Hey, you got this opportunity come up," but in certain instances I don't feel prepared. But I was telling you this the other day, or not the other day, but a couple of weeks ago, maybe.
Everything is the other day.
Yeah. Because I was saying how when you start doing something in your business and you get presented with this opportunity and you have no idea what they're talking about or you have never done it before, it pushes you to go research and find out because you want to have that opportunity. So like I was telling her, like I like instances like that because it teaches me there's more to your business that you're not focusing on. And so, no, I do not feel like that. And all I could do is continue to pray to God to ask him to guide me and guide my steps because it's so easy to get distracted. It's so easy to be turned to the left or the right because the world is just around us and we're in it. So, yeah, I feel like I haven't, but lately I have been. Like the markets and the Christmas and holiday markets coming up. And just anytime somebody reaches out, I make it a point to like talk to them and reach back out. Like I'm a part of the MABS business program now, so making sure I show up to that, even if I don't feel like at the end of the day,
the day gotta end.
And if you want to use what's that TikTok pasta or that's so funny. Okay, so anyways, to wrap it up, I'm just trying to say, yeah, I'm gonna miss some opportunities that God has presented me with. That I'm not gonna maximize them all because I'm only human. I'm going to have that error. So, yeah. What about you?
I feel like that at one point in my life, I feel like I'm always getting opportunities from God. That's just a given. But there was one point in my life if those opportunities didn't come perfect or wrapped in a nice little bow, I'd pass. And I don't regret my decisions. That project or thing could blow up and I'm still like, yeah, no. Because it didn't feel right for me. And it was something in me that was like, no, or the intuition, or maybe the expectation. But going forward, or even in present time, I am a little slower to think on things. I think them through, I research, and then I think long term. So there's always a short term for me and a long term goal, no matter what it is. It could be a post, it could be a story, it could be a project that I apply for or audition for. Any of that, I'm still going to think it through, pray on it, and then go from there. Because obviously, I'm not, like you were saying, I'm not going to take every opportunity that's presented to me because some of those opportunities just aren't meant for me, in my own opinion. Oop, covered the mic. In my own opinion, some of those things are just not meant for me. So
I like what you said about like when the opportunity comes, like sometimes you have a feeling like, oh no, it's not for me, or you have intuition.
Yeah.
I feel like that's God telling you it's not for you. So every opportunity is not from God, by the way, but the opportunities that are presented by God, you would know. You feel it. You will understand it's just something in you. God has reminded, he showed you signs. He showed you in your dreams that you probably don't even remember when you wake up, but you remember that day. Like, it's different. It's a whole new, it's on a spiritual level for sure. But like, some opportunities are counterfeits. So you got to watch out for those.
I would agree. Because there's some opportunities that were like, and it would be great. And it's like, well, you just got to take off your top. I'm like, no, thank you.
Show me a little one too.
Yeah, I mean, if my back was to the camera, maybe my back to the camera, like a little side loop, but my front, no. For my man.
So you won't be showing the goodies.
I hope not on purpose. I mean, Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
I'm very artsy, so I get it, I understand. But sometimes I think they over sexualize a lot of things. But if I can help it, and it's just not like a set in stone. But if I can help it, I want to try to not have nudity scenes. No matter if you got the best body, worst, whatever. That's just something that I really am not. I'm not ready for that. So I don't think I'll ever be
Ready
for
for
that.
the nudity scenes?
I just don't want to be nude. I want to
No,
act.
I don't think anything's. To be honest, I don't think anything's wrong with that because I feel like in any field you have to have values and boundaries. So when you have those in place, you shouldn't feel bad for not wanting to do something that's against what you stand for. So I don't think there's nothing wrong.
First of all, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done. I was on this one set, and this lady would not live it down. She was doing my makeup, or I do my own makeup. I show up to set with my makeup done, and she was just like coming to powder my face, and I was just like, "Oh no," because you one, she used that same makeup brush on everybody's face. Two, the powder was way too light, and it could have been translucent. I don't know, but I just knew it wasn't my powder, and I know she'd do my makeup. They let me walk on set with makeup I had done, and I said, "Well, I can go grab my bag really quick and get the powder. It's in my purse." We don't have time for that. We definitely had time for it. But I think she was more upset, and she kept saying, look, it shows up on me. It doesn't show up on me, but she wasn't my complexion. And then she did it on another person sitting next to me, like really like condescending. Look, it doesn't show up on him. It definitely showed up on him, but he still wasn't my complexion. He's a little darker than her, but it wasn't my complexion. And I just stayed there and looked at her, and we were already like mic'd up and stuff. And I was just like, well, I guess I pissed her off for the day. And it was just like one of those things where I have a boundary. I don't want you putting used makeup brushes on let's use on everybody on my face. I don't care about the time. I can have mine right up under the table. I can do that.
Yeah.
And have my own. We can do that.
It's not worth it.
Right.
It's not worth it.
Because I've seen people's skin break out.
Yeah.
Bad.
That's crazy.
And
I don't care about the skin over here.
And I care about how I look on camera. I don't want to have a white patch like somewhere on my But yeah, wanted to share that. Boundaries. I don't care. It could be little or small. Have a boundary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was mad though.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I ain't said nothing but no to you.
Boundaries are important.
Yeah.
Just in life in general. Like whatever you do, like just with your kids, boundaries I feel like it's important because and people will look at you crazy for your boundaries. They would try to make you think that you're crazy for your boundaries, but don't let them because that's crazy. Because people be trying to do that. Like you say you don't believe in something or you want to voice your opinion. Like for example, if I voice my opinion like, oh, and I love another way that my sister supports me, going back to that, is that she respects my opinion or my boundaries.
Oh yeah, I do.
And we don't agree on everything at all. Like, and so we are able to have conversations about things that we disagree on, but it's not like an argument.
I always ask her questions because I genuinely want to know how she thinks and why she thinks that way. And she does the same for me. And it's never like a, damn, okay, so I like her, girl. But it's always like, that's interesting, but everybody, you can't do that with everybody. I don't do that with everybody. So
I think we should try though.
I have.
Girl said I have, and that's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not. It's
I feel like it is hard. It's hard because some people don't want to have a conversation; they just want to be right.
Right.
So I get it. But yeah,
buzzword. They always want a buzz phrase. They always want to be right. Yeah, that is really good. When did you think, or when did you develop or understand what your boundaries were?
Recently, like maybe I want to say like 2 years ago, 3 to 2 years ago. When I moved to Dallas, like I lived in San Antonio for like 11 years, and I was in a college mindset, and I still have boundaries out there, but I feel like I gained more wisdom and understanding of I don't have to be liked by everybody, that I had to set boundaries and stick to them, because sometimes I would do things that I didn't feel comfortable doing or didn't want to do, just so I wouldn't be a problem or inconvenience to somebody. And so when I got out of there, I think I would say 2 to 3 years. Was that the question? How long? Or when did you figure out that what your boundaries were? Oh, I figured it out because I was in a situation where in my mind, I felt so down on myself. Like, why am I here? I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I didn't even want to do that. Like, it's just situations like that will really like make you like, I'm not doing anything else. And then, like I said, God is always talking to me. So it's like if I'm in a club and in a club, we out fam. But if I'm in a club and I just feel like I can hear the music is evil, or like it's just I see stuff, and spiritually I'm like I feel I'm convicted, and I'm like I didn't even want to come here. You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of boundary, that kind of like set the tone to like don't go anywhere you don't want to go. Don't put yourself in a position you don't want to be in. Like that's not to say don't take risks and do new things, but it's a difference between the two. So I say that's my turning point. Like when I was in a situation where I was so disappointed in myself, like I ain't even supposed to be here.
I wonder if my mic can pick up my stomach going. But
I haven't eaten today.
I definitely can agree with that mindset. I would say my boundaries, I learned them very early on. I don't know what sparked them, but I was definitely still a child. Whether it was early teens or late teens, it was like I had a glimpse of what my life could be. Just by going to my friend's house, because they had like we lived in the apartment in high school, but then there were other people that had working parents and nice houses and all sorts of stuff, and I got a glimpse of what my life could be in a 2-parent household, or both my parents worked or something like that. But I got a glimpse of what my life could be, and I saw how the world around me was in my immediate household, and it was a lot of lack of boundaries. And so just being out in the real world kind of early let me know how to set those, and each opportunity was a learning experience for me. And my boundaries go hard now, like in the paint. Like now that I'm older,
you get drained after not having boundaries for so long. You feel, if you want to know why you drained and you drained right now, it's check your boundaries. It's like you're not setting the boundaries and sticking to them.
Yeah,
like you can get drained like that.
That's very true. I would agree with that. And you kind of fall into people pleasing.
Yes, that is a big thing. I would do that so much. Like I would have a friend that would call me all the time, and all she had to talk about was drama. No shade, no tea to any of my friends. I love them, but all you have to do is dump other people's drama on me or your drama, and I never really had a chance to talk about me. And I would do that constantly every day, and it was just like a friendship. Like, oh hey, what you doing? Like,
it was a one-way
like
ship.
a one-way ship.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it was just like an everyday thing. Like that was the norm for our friendship at the time.
Yeah.
And I realized after so long, like I'm drained. I'm tired. I don't know why I feel like this, because I'm listening to you and your thoughts and your mind and what do you like. I wasn't setting a boundary of like, hey, I really need to talk to you about something right now. Like I would hold in anything I needed to talk about, I wanted to talk about. I would have it on my mind, but as soon as the person would start talking, it's like it's about them. And I feel like it was a give relationship, not a give and take, but just a giving on my end.
I've had one of those actually recently, and it didn't take me long to figure it out. So I just kind of cut them off.
It was draining for me. Like I was like, oh, I don't like, and I would talk to my now husband about it. Like I really don't. I don't know what it is. They didn't do anything to me. I just don't want to.
They did. They didn't show up for you when you needed them.
I just don't want to be as close to them anymore. It just naturally, the natural separation happened, which was good. But like, I just feel like, yeah, that's a lot to deal with.
It is. I have had, like I said, I've had one of those recently, and it took me like 3 friend dates in. But I didn't know this person for years. But 3 friend dates in, and I was like, I need to talk to you. And it was serious, and their response was just like, oh yeah, and then they just put it back on themselves. I'm just like, okay. Well, first, I wanted to vent, yes, but I also like people to pour into me as a friend or sister or wife, whatever. Pour into me, because I obviously need it if I'm being vulnerable with you. And I would just say, like, if you're in those situations, really check, on your other friends. And I know sometimes people don't even know that they're doing it. So, and if you say something about it and they're still doing it, I like to cut people off and don't say nothing.
In my instance, I didn't say nothing. I just let it go.
I cut them off.
But like, to be fair, I never told the person what they were doing or how I felt, because I didn't figure it out until later on, like after the fact. But like in the midst of it, I was just living, just going with emotions. But people don't know that they're doing it, to be honest.
Some people
like, some people can, like, or they can't help it.
Yeah.
Like they just want to do it and they just don't care.
Yeah.
To change. But I was reading this book the other day, because me and my husband has this book called Keep Your Love On. And it talks about like the trust cycle and like relationships and all that. And it's like faith-based. So it uses God and scriptures and stuff. And so one of them was like, you have to complete one of the chapters talked about completing a trust cycle. Like,
okay,
the way that we grow up is like, even from infancy, like we cry and our parents tend to our need. And when they tend to our need, we stop crying. So it's like a trust cycle. Like, okay, if I cry, they do this. So in relationships as adults, it's like, what is the need? I can't assume that my sister knows everything that I need. I can't assume anything. I can't assume she knows what I'm going through or how I feel. So it's like, I don't express that to her, then I'm not even giving her the like opportunity to be trusted by me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And sometimes if we're around each other, I can see it on her. But if I don't see her for a while, I never know. I can talk to her on the phone and I can hear it in her voice sometimes. And I can ask questions to pry, but I never fully know. So,
I mean, yeah, she know when I be like, yeah, I don't want to.
Like, girl, talk to me.
I be like, hello. But lately I've been good. I don't got no complaints. But I just feel like, yeah, I feel like I'm in a good space.
That's really
How are you mentally?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Now that I know how you are. I'm good mentally. It is very taxing to go from working all the time to not working all the time, like just a regular schmegular job. But outside of that though, I feel rested and I feel light and I'm good. So yeah.
I like that. Me too.
Well, you guys, that is a wrap on episode 2, part 2 for boundaries. Let me do it again. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 2, part 2 of Boundaries. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on this episode. And thanks for joining us on the Crabtree Sisters Unfiltered Podcast.
That was my cue and I missed it.
That's okay.
Girl said,
I think it was a good wrap. We can